So, I've got to tell you about this crazy experience I had. I'm still in disbelief, honestly. This was supposed to be the perfect purchase, but it turned into the biggest scam of my life. I was casually scrolling through Instagram, like we all do, when I saw this ad for the perfect designer bag. It was stunning, and I was already picturing how I'd be wearing it with all my cute outfits. The bag was on a crazy sale, and I thought, okay, maybe it's my lucky day. You know the ones, those deals that just seem too good to be true, but you convince yourself they're legit. The ad was sponsored by an influencer I kind of recognized, so I figured it was safe. I clicked the link and the website was super slick. It looked so real, the layout, the photos, everything. The bag looked like the real deal. I mean, it was a steal, and I thought, why not? I pulled out my card and hit that buy now button. Honestly, I was feeling so proud of myself, like I just got this $500 designer bag for half the price. Fast forward a week and my package finally arrives. I'm pumped. I rip open the box and immediately notice something's off. The bag, it's tiny, way smaller than I expected, and the material, not leather. I could tell the moment I touched it, it was some cheap plastic. I'm sitting there thinking, is this a joke? I start inspecting it closer. The stitching is sloppy and the inside lining is all wrinkled, like it's been stuffed into a box for ages. I'm freaking out at this point. This is not the bag I ordered. But I look at the label and it says the brand's name, so I'm like, did they send me a knockoff by mistake? I go to the website again to check my order, but guess what? The website is gone, completely disappeared. I try reaching out to the seller, and of course, no reply. It's like they knew exactly what they were doing. I was so pissed and embarrassed. I couldn't believe I fell for such a blatant scam. I tried to contact my bank, but since it was an online purchase, they couldn't do much to help. So I'm sitting here with a fake bag, completely scammed out of my money. And the worst part? I go online and find out that everyone who bought from that website got the same fake bag. People were posting about their experiences in online forums, and turns out the whole thing was a scam operation. They were just taking people's money and sending out knockoff products. I feel like the biggest idiot, honestly. I've learned the hard way that if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. I'm just out here trying to warn you guys. Don't trust those random websites or deals that seem too perfect. You might just end up with a fake bag and a massive headache. Okay, so I don't even know how this happened, but I've never been so frustrated in my life. I was browsing this website I found through an ad on Instagram. Yeah, I know, rookie mistake, but it looked super legit, the photos were gorgeous, and everything seemed perfect. They were selling these cute, oversized sweaters in a variety of colors, and they looked super comfy. They had a buy two, get one free deal, and I thought, hell yes, I'm doing it. I ordered 3 of them because the pictures made them look like they were going to be soft and cozy, the kind of sweater you wear all winter long while drinking hot chocolate and watching Netflix. A week later, my package arrives, and I'm hyped. I open it up, and the second I pull out the first sweater, I'm like, wait, what is this? It wasn't even the right color. The picture showed this beautiful pastel pink, but what I had in my hands was this weird, dull shade of grayish brown. It looked like someone washed it with the wrong detergent and it faded in the sun. But the worst part? The fabric felt nothing like what was in the ad. Instead of being soft and cozy, it was rough and scratchy, like one of those cheap knockoff sweaters you find in a bargain bin at a store. I honestly couldn't believe it. So, naturally, I checked the other 2 sweaters. One was the same gross fabric and the other was completely wrong. The fit was off and it didn't even have the same design as in the picture. I'm sitting there, holding these ugly, uncomfortable sweaters that look nothing like what I ordered. And I'm like, what the heck just happened? I immediately go back to the website to check the return policy. And of course, it's a nightmare. They had this vague, no returns for change of mind policy that was buried in the fine print. But here's the kicker. They said I had to send the items back at my own expense if I wanted to get a refund. And of course, I had to prove that they weren't what I ordered. I tried reaching out to customer service, but, surprise, no reply. It was like I was talking to a brick wall. I even went to their social media pages where they were still posting like everything was fine, with no acknowledgement of the complaints or people like me getting scammed. And get this, the website's still live, selling the same adorable sweaters, and the reviews are still glowing, even though I know at least 10 other people who got the same garbage I did. I honestly felt so stupid. It's wild how these scams can look so convincing and professional. The pictures, the deals, everything made it seem like a steal. But now I'm stuck with these uncomfortable, useless sweaters that I can't even return. So, I ordered this adorable Labubu plush that I had been stalking online for months. I'm talking about the perfect addition to my collection. It was this super cute limited edition, and honestly, it was the kind of thing I'd been dreaming about. I was so excited when I finally ordered it. The delivery took forever. I'm talking like weeks. Every day I checked the tracking number, hoping it would finally say delivered. And every day I was greeted with nothing. I'd get my hopes up, run to the door, but nothing. I swear it felt like I was waiting for a whole year just to get this little plush. Finally, the day came. I see the delivery guy and I run to the door like I'm on a mission. I grab the box and I'm so excited. I can already picture myself posting it on my Instagram and showing it off to everyone. I mean, this was going to be the star of my collection. I rip open the box and I see it. But it's not what I expected. I ordered the medium size, the one that looked just right, but when I pulled it out, it was like someone had sent me a child's toy. I looked at it, then back at the website, then back at the plush again, and I just thought, this can't be real. The size difference was insane. It was tiny, like tiny, tiny. It was the kind of thing you'd see in the corner of a store, shoved in a clearance bin. I literally had to check the tag to make sure I didn't accidentally order the wrong size. But nope, it was definitely supposed to be the medium size. I immediately checked the order confirmation, and yep, I definitely ordered the right one. But somehow I ended up with a plush that looked like it was made for a toddler. So I try to reach out to the seller, right? I'm already thinking, okay, I'll just send it back, get the right size, no big deal. But then, nothing. No response to my emails, no customer service contact, crickets. I'm sitting there, holding this tiny, adorable, but completely useless plush, feeling like I just got scammed. I mean, the size difference was ridiculous. I couldn't even be mad about it because I was so disappointed. Like, how do you even mess that up? So now I'm stuck with this little plush that's totally the wrong size, and I'm just trying to figure out what the heck to do with it. The worst part? They're still selling the same plush in the wrong size on the website, with no mention that you could get something totally different than what you ordered. It's honestly hilarious looking back on it. But man, that was such a letdown. Moral of the story? Double check those sizes before you hit buy, and don't get too hyped up about these random online stores with no customer support. So, this story is one for the books. I am honestly still mad about it, and I need to share this with you because, I just can't believe how badly I got played. So, I'm scrolling through Instagram, as usual, and this influencer I follow, who's always showing off these cute, affordable items, posts about this amazing promo. She's raving about this new brand that's supposedly making these super high-quality products at prices way lower than the competition. And because she's always got great style, I thought, all right, this looks legit. The brand was offering a limited time promo, the kind where you get 50% off your first order. And she even had a promo code for an extra 20% off. My brain was like, okay, I have to check this out. The website looked decent, nothing too fancy, but clean and professional. It seemed real, right? They had all these items on sale that I could totally see myself using. I picked a few things, added them to my cart, and entered the promo code. Everything seemed perfect. I was so ready for my new finds. I placed the order and waited, and waited, and waited. A week went by, then another. No updates, no tracking info, nothing. I'm getting a little frustrated, but still hopeful, thinking it'll arrive any day now. Then finally I get the package. I tear it open, excited as hell, only to be immediately hit with disappointment. The items were nothing like what I ordered. First of all, the quality was trash. I'm talking the kind of fabric that feels like it came straight from a Halloween store. And don't even get me started on the colors, completely different from what was shown on the website. I double-checked the order confirmation and the website, and I definitely ordered the right stuff. I'm sitting there holding this cheap, poorly made junk, and immediately I feel like I've been scammed. I try reaching out to the brand, thinking it's just a mix-up, but guess what? They don't respond. I try email, I try their social media, nothing. No response. At this point, I'm pissed. I go back to the influencer's post, expecting to see some mention of how I can return the stuff, or some customer service info, but nothing there either. Just more glowing comments about how amazing the brand is and how I should totally use her code for discounts. That's when it hit me. This was all part of the scam. The influencer had promoted the brand because she probably got paid, or was in on it. I couldn't believe I'd been part of this, and I felt so stupid. I tried to look into the brand more and found a bunch of other people had the same experience, getting crap products, no customer service, and no refunds. I literally couldn't believe I'd fallen for it. The entire thing was a scam from the start, and I was just another person who got tricked. Okay, I have to tell you this story because, I don't even know what I was thinking. I was at work just minding my business, right? Everything was going smoothly until I decided to tell this small little white lie. Big mistake. So, here's the setup. It was a regular Tuesday morning at this corporate office job I've been at for about 6 months now. I'm pretty new, still trying to figure out how things work, and honestly, just trying to not mess anything up. So I'm sitting at my desk, scrolling through emails, when my boss, Karen, yes, that's her real name, comes up to me. She's one of those do everything right or else types. And she's got this way of asking questions that, immediately make you feel guilty even if you didn't do anything. She asks, "Hey, did you finish that project report I asked for yesterday?" I freeze. Yesterday? I was so caught up in other stuff I hadn't even started. So instead of saying, "No, sorry, I completely forgot," I, panicked and said, "Yeah, I finished it. I just need to double check a couple of things before I send it over." At the time, it felt like a smart move, you know? I was buying myself a little time. But then she goes, "Great, can you send it to me in the next 10 minutes? My heart drops because I just lied. I don't even have a report. I hadn't even opened the file. And now I'm expected to send it in 10 minutes? I don't know what I was thinking, but suddenly it felt like the most terrible decision of my life. I start scrambling, opening random documents, pretending to edit something. I'm freaking out, my hands are shaking, and I'm trying to act normal, like everything is fine. But the longer I sit there, the worse it gets. Every second feels like I'm just digging myself deeper into a hole. Then, enter my coworker, James. He's been there for years, knows the ins and outs of the job, and is generally like the office savior. But this guy has no filter whatsoever. He comes over, sees me sweating and staring at my screen in full panic mode, and asks, "Yo, you good?" I can't even look him in the eye. I'm like, "Yeah, just finishing up something." And James, being James, leans in, glances at my screen, and goes, "Wait, is that the report you're pretending to finish?" I literally wanted to crawl into a hole. How did he know? He just knew. Now I'm trying to play it cool, nah, I'm just, making sure everything's perfect. And I could feel my face turning bright red. I'm sweating. I'm not even doing anything productive at this point, just staring at a blank screen while pretending to type. James, savage as always, goes, "Yeah, you're really selling it, huh?" And I just cringe. The worst part? It gets even worse. Karen's standing right behind us. I don't even know how she got there so quietly, but she's there, and she sees James giving me the side eye. She doesn't say anything, just stands there waiting. And then, boom, she hits me with the, "Let me see it then." At this point, I can feel my brain short-circuiting. I have nothing to show her, and there's no way I'm getting away with this. So I do what any sensible person would do. I panicked, hit send on whatever was open in front of me, which was just a bunch of random numbers and figures, and told her, "Here it is." And then, silence. She opens it, stares at it for a solid minute, and just blinks. "Are you serious?" she says, deadpan. "This is literally just gibberish." Guys, the earth literally could have swallowed me whole in that moment. I swear. I didn't know what to say, so I just stood there looking like an idiot. She goes, "Come on, don't waste my time." And James, of course, leans over and whispers, "Told you, girl." I wish I could have just disappeared right there, but no. The next hour was spent sitting in the conference room with Karen watching me as I worked on the real report. It was honestly like the most awkward 60 minutes of my life. Every second felt like she was silently judging me for lying, for being caught, and for making this stupid, avoidable mistake. Now the takeaway here? Trust your gut. You don't have to lie. It's way better to admit you're behind than try to cover it up with some half-baked excuse. Lesson learned, bestie. Never again will I try to cover my tracks with a lie, because it'll only come back to bite you in the end. So yeah, that's my story of getting caught in a lie at work. Can you believe I thought I could get away with it? Never again. Okay, you guys, I can't even begin to explain how bad this road trip turned out to be. I thought I was just going to have a chill weekend getaway with my bestie, but no, this turned into a whole disaster that I will never forget. So, Grab your popcorn because you're not going to believe this. So, it all started when me and my best friend Mia decided we needed a break from the city. We've been talking about doing this road trip for months, and finally we had a weekend free. We're both in our 20s, ready for an adventure, blasting music, stopping at random spots, and of course, getting some cute Instagram pics. What could go wrong, right? We picked this cute little town about 3 hours away. You know, small, quiet, kind of like one of those places you go to when you need to escape everything. We rented a cute car, packed our bags, and hit the road. The vibes were literally perfect. We stopped at a couple of cute cafes, took some pics, and everything was vibing. It was going great. Until we hit the highway. Now, about halfway there, we noticed the car is making this weird sound. It's like this grinding noise every time we hit the gas. I'm like, Mia, do you hear that? And she's like, yeah, but it's probably nothing, just a weird sound. Don't freak out. So I'm thinking, okay, it's fine. We're almost there. It's probably nothing. Big mistake. We roll up to the town and the car is making seriously weird noises now. We pull into the parking lot of this hotel and I'm like, okay, let's just park the car, check in, and maybe we'll look at it later. But the moment I put the car in park, it stops moving. Like the car is just stuck. I try to start it again. Nothing. We're literally stuck in the parking lot, in the middle of nowhere, no mechanics in sight, and I'm freaking out. Mia, being the calm one, suggests we just go inside, have some drinks, and deal with the car later. But as when you're talking to someone for a while, and everything's going great, and you think, okay, maybe this is it, I'm gonna actually, make a move? Well, that's exactly where I was at with this guy, Jake. We met through a mutual friend, and honestly, I didn't expect anything. He seemed like that chill, slightly sarcastic guy that you'd probably hang out with at parties but wouldn't think much of beyond that. At least that's how I thought it would be. So we started talking. And by talking, I mean messaging all the time. I mean, he was literally messaging me first thing in the morning, like, hey, how's your day? And I was thinking, okay, this is nice, but is this just friendly? And then it started to feel like more. He'd reply quickly, we'd talk about random stuff, and every now and then he'd throw in something that seemed like a hint. It was like this weird dance where neither of us were making the first move, but we were definitely vibing. But here's the thing, I could tell I liked him. The texting was flowing and I couldn't help myself. I was definitely into him. But he wasn't making any move, which started to mess with my head. Do I just wait? Or do I finally be the person who makes the first move? For some reason, I convinced myself to just do it. I thought, what's the worst that could happen? He either likes me back or he doesn't. No big deal. So I sent him this text. Simple, low pressure. I said, hey, just wanted to tell you I've been having fun talking with you and I think you're really cute. Thought I'd put that out there. Totally cool, right? Nothing intense, just a casual, I like you. He didn't respond. And then nothing happened. I waited. And I waited some more. 12 hours, 24 hours, 48 hours. I was like, okay, this is fine. He's busy, or maybe he didn't know how to respond. But deep down, I was spiraling. I kept going over every word in my head, like, did I say something wrong? Was it too forward? But here's the kicker. After 2 days of absolute silence, he starts posting on Instagram. You know, stories of him hanging out with friends, getting coffee, literally living his life like my text didn't exist. And that's when I realized he had seen it. He had definitely seen it. And just like that, I was ghosted. And honestly, it stung so much more because I thought we were connecting. I thought we were on the same page, but I guess not. The whole thing left me thinking, wow, I really put myself out there, and this is how it goes down? It's like I went from high-key texting 24/7 to being a total afterthought. So I'll leave you with this. If you're ever wondering whether you should make the first move, just remember, some people might not be as invested as you think. And that's okay. I'm not mad. I'm just, well, a little embarrassed, but mostly relieved to know where I stand. So yeah, ghosting. Definitely a thing. And don't fall for the we're just friends act if their actions say otherwise. You guys, you will not believe what happened to me. I was trying to treat myself to a new pair of sneakers, right? I found this super cute seller online. Like, too good to be true. I should have known. I've always been the type to fall for a good deal. But this time, it was the deal that almost cost me everything. So I'm scrolling through my usual spots, trying to find something stylish but not too expensive, you know? Then I stumbled across this website. I won't say the name, but they had the sneakers I wanted, and they were running a huge sale. I'm talking 60% off. Seriously, what's the catch? Red flags, I know. But it was like one of those moments when you just want to believe it's real. I checked their reviews. I know. Always check reviews first. They seemed pretty decent, tons of 5-star ratings, green flag. But, of course, I missed the part where most of those reviews were from, well, accounts that looked like they were created 5 minutes ago. But hey, my brain didn't process that part. I'm getting these sneakers, period. Fast forward to me placing the order. I got the confirmation email and everything, and I'm thinking, hell yeah, I just scored. Then, a couple of days pass, and I'm already imagining how cute I'm gonna look walking around in these fresh kicks. But guess what? A week later, I get a shipping notification, finally. But when I check the tracking number, guess what I find? It's a random address in a different country. Like, wait, where did my sneakers go? I start Googling, and I find that this seller has been reported multiple times for exactly this. Fake orders, no real products, just a whole scam to take people's money. So I try calling the number they listed. It rings once, twice, and then nothing. At this point, I'm full on panicking. I'm emailing, DMing them, trying to figure out what happened. And guess what? No response. Then it hits me. I've been scammed, big time. Now, I'm sitting here wondering what my next move is. I contacted my bank and they finally gave me the refund, but I'm out of the shipping cost. The stress? Honestly, not worth it. Guys, I can't even begin to explain how angry and embarrassed I am. I should have known better. Always trust your gut, bestie. If something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Moral of the story? Don't fall for these fake online stores, no matter how good the deal looks. Your money isn't worth the heartbreak. Trust me, swipe left on scams. Okay, let me tell you about the disaster that was my Labubu toy delivery. Guys, I was so excited. You know how obsessed I am with Labubu, right? And I had been eyeing this one particular toy for months. Months, I'm telling you. So when I finally had the cash and saw it on sale, I didn't hesitate for 1 second. I clicked buy now faster than I've ever clicked anything in my life. Now here's the thing. I knew it was going to take a little while for the toy to arrive. But a week? No big deal. I was patiently waiting, texting my friends about how excited I was for the delivery, and even talking about where I was going to put it once it got here. I had it all planned out. Finally, after what felt like forever, the day came. The tracking info said my Labubu toy was at the door, and I was practically bouncing off the walls. I opened the door, grabbed the package, and immediately I felt something was off. The box was weird. I'm talking crushed corners, scuffed tape, and honestly, the thing looked like it had been through a war. But whatever, I was too hyped to care. It's Labubu, right? It's going to be worth it. I brought the box inside, opened it carefully, and nope. I swear, the second I saw it, I couldn't breathe. My Labubu toy, the one I had been waiting for all this time, it was broken. Totally broken. Like, its arm was hanging off, the paint was chipped, and there was this weird stain on its face. What the actual hell? I thought maybe it was a mistake, like maybe it was a return or something. But nope, the seller was like, sorry, we can't take returns on items like this. And I was livid, bestie. Like, I was shaking. What do you mean no returns? I paid for this toy like it was a freaking collector's item. So I reached out to customer service, and guys, can we talk about how they just ghosted me? They were acting like I was the problem. They kept saying, it's not our fault if the delivery company handled it poorly. And I was like, no, honey, it's your fault for shipping it like that. I sent like 1,000,000 emails, but all I got was crickets. And to make it worse, they just stopped responding. I honestly couldn't even process it. This was not only money down the drain, but my dream Labubu toy was destroyed. In the end, I had to just swallow it and move on. But here's the thing, guys. This experience left me with some serious trust issues. I learned the hard way to always check return policies, always read reviews, especially the bad ones, and never, ever get too excited about something before it gets to your door. Moral of the story? If it looks too good to be true, or if the packaging looks sketchy, trust your gut and cancel that order before it's too late. Don't make the same mistake I did. Okay, girls, I just can't even believe this happened to me. Like, I honestly feel like I've been pranked and you need to hear this. So I'm casually scrolling through Instagram, just minding my own business, when this ad pops up for this amazing product. It was this super cute mini blender, and it was all pastel and sleek, basically everything I wanted in my life. I thought, okay, this is a steal, I need this. The website looked good, the reviews seemed fine, and I was sold. I ordered it, paid, and waited, and waited. and waited. 5 days later, the package finally shows up. I'm beyond excited, thinking I'm about to be making all these cute smoothies, you know? I tear open the box, and the second I pull out the blender, my heart sank. It was tiny, like so small I thought it was a keychain at first. The color wasn't pastel, it was this weird washed-out shade that honestly looked like it had been sitting in the sun for weeks. The material? Cheap, like dollar store plastic, not the high-quality stainless steel I was promised. I immediately checked the website again, and guys, the description was completely different from what I got. It promised a premium, sleek design, and this thing felt like it could break if I dropped it from a foot off the ground. I tried to reach out to customer service, but, surprise, no response. I emailed, messaged, even tried calling them, and nothing. I was just sitting there with this useless, broken blender and no way to fix it. So yeah, here I am with my $40 mini blender that's basically a plastic toy. I was seriously disappointed, and I just felt scammed. Moral of the story, girls, never trust those picture-perfect ads on Instagram. You can't believe everything you see online. Takeaway. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Always read the reviews thoroughly, and never skip the return policy, just in case. I honestly never thought I'd be telling you guys about this, but I just had the worst experience trying to return a product, and I've got to vent about it. So, a few weeks ago, I saw this super cute must-have phone case online. The ad made it look so chic, like the perfect match for my phone. The website looked legit, and the reviews were glowing. Everyone was obsessed with how durable and stylish it was. I thought, okay, yeah, I'll get that. It wasn't even that expensive, so I figured I couldn't go wrong. I placed the order, eagerly awaited its arrival, and when it finally came, I was ready to put it on my phone and show it off. But the moment I opened the box, I could immediately tell something was off. The quality was horrible. The case was flimsy, the colors were dull, and there were scratches all over it like someone had been using it for months already. I was furious, like this was not what I signed up for. I went straight to their return policy, and it said returns were accepted within 30 days, so I thought, okay, no biggie, I'll send it back and get my money. So I emailed them with a photo of the damaged case and the order number, thinking I'd get a response right away. But then, nothing. No reply for days, so I followed up, still nothing. I tried calling their customer service line, and it just kept going to voicemail. I was starting to lose it because I knew I wasn't getting my money back. Finally, after about a week, I got a response saying, unfortunately, we can't accept this return because it's used. And I'm like, used? It's brand new. I literally just got it, and it's scratched up. They kept insisting it wasn't their fault and basically ignored everything I said. After all that, I just gave up and was stuck with a useless, broken phone case and no refund. Honestly, I'm beyond angry. Moral of the story? Always check the return policy and never trust a website just because it looks perfect. If something seems off with a product, trust your gut and don't let them scam you like I did. I've got to tell you about this ridiculous experience I had with a seller that seemed perfect. I can't even believe it's real, but it is. So buckle up, because this is the kind of thing that makes you lose faith in online shopping forever. It all started when I was looking for a new pair of boots. I wanted something stylish, but also practical, and I found this seller who was advertising some gorgeous, high-quality leather boots for a really good price. The photos were stunning, like literally the perfect pair I had been dreaming of. The description said it was real leather, they had all these glowing reviews, and I was like, this is too good to pass up. So, of course, I went ahead and ordered them. I was so excited, I started imagining all the outfits I could wear with them, and honestly, I was already planning on showing them off in my next Instagram post. Fast forward to a few days later when the boots arrived. At first I was hyped, like, yes, they're finally here. But the second I opened the box, I realized something was really off. The boots didn't even feel like leather, they were super stiff, and the material was way cheaper than what I'd expected. The stitching was sloppy, and there was this weird chemical smell coming from them, like, what kind of leather smells like that? I immediately went to the seller's website, thinking maybe I got a defective pair, and I noticed the reviews started getting sketchy. Some people had been complaining about the same thing. Fake leather, bad quality, and worst of all, no response from the seller. I tried to reach out to customer service, and guess what? No one answered. I sent multiple emails, and all I got was the same automated response about being a valued customer. Like, no, I'm not a valued customer if I can't even get a refund for my fake boots. I kept digging online, and that's when I found out this perfect seller had been scamming people for months, selling knockoff products
Будь
at a premium
здоров!
price and never taking returns. People were pissed. They'd basically taken my money and disappeared.
Да.
Long story short, I had to file a complaint with my bank to try to get a refund, but the whole thing just left a bad taste in my mouth.
Почему она вкусная?
I couldn't believe I had fallen for such a classic scam. Always do your
Я
research before you
кушаю,
hit
просто не
buy.
так много.
Okay, so this is wild,
Не
and I
знаю.
honestly don't even know
Может,
how I let it
переешь.
happen. I went on a date with this guy I met online, and everything seemed perfect. Like, really perfect. He was sweet, funny, and we had a lot in common, so much so that I thought, yeah, this could go somewhere. We met at this cute little cafe, everything was going great, until the bill came. So, we're chatting, and then it happens. The waiter drops the check, and this guy just sits there staring at it. What? Like, dude, what's going on? I waited for him to offer, to at least say, let's split it, or something, but nothing. I started feeling that weird tension creeping in. He wasn't offering, so I just thought, fine, I'll do it. I paid for the whole date, not because I wanted to, but because it was getting awkward. He didn't even thank me properly, just gave me this half smile. And at that point I thought, okay, I'm just being paranoid. Maybe he's shy. Fast forward to the next few days. I sent him a message saying I had a great time and would love to hang out again. Nothing. Not a single text back. So I wait, thinking maybe he's just busy. Days go by, still nothing. I reach out again, being casual like, hey, how's it going? Still crickets. And that's when it hit me. He literally ghosted me after I paid for everything. Like, how do you do that to someone? I'm sitting here thinking, I was nice enough to pick up the tab, and this is what I get? It's honestly the most disrespectful thing I've ever dealt with. So here I am, telling you guys this so you never end up in the same situation. Like seriously, if someone can't even offer to split the check, what does that say about them? So I ordered this super cute jacket online. I'd been eyeing it for a while, and finally I saw it on sale, so I was like, okay, this is my moment. It was the perfect color, exactly what I needed to update my wardrobe for the season. I was hyped, like this jacket was going to be my new go-to. The delivery came, and when I opened the package, I immediately noticed something was off. The jacket didn't even look like the photos on the website. The fabric was all crinkled and worn, like, who ships out clothes that look like they've been through a laundry day a few too many times? But it didn't stop there. I took it out of the bag and started inspecting it closer. There were stains on it, yes, actual stains, and the stitching was coming loose in several spots. I couldn't believe my eyes. Like, how does a brand new item look like it's been worn for years? I checked the tags and they looked like they'd been tampered with. The little plastic piece that holds the tag on, it was bent and scratched, like it had been removed and put back on. I immediately went online to check the return policy, thinking, okay, maybe I can return it and get my money back. But of course, no one replied to my emails. I called their customer service line. No answer. Like, I was getting ghosted by the company I just paid money to. The worst part? The website still had the jacket listed as new and perfect condition. Are you kidding me? I paid full price for something that looked like it came from the clearance section at a thrift store. I'm still in shock that this is a thing that happens. I literally had to escalate the case with my bank to get my money back. And even then, it wasn't a smooth process. Honestly, it makes me so mad because now I'm skeptical about everything I order online. Like, who can I trust anymore? Okay, so here's the thing. This was supposed to be the ultimate addition to my Labubu collection. I had been stalking this one limited edition plush for weeks, watching the ad over and over on Instagram. The colors, the details, everything was perfect. It was a must-have, I thought. The website was smooth, the photos were flawless, and the reviews were glowing. I was ready to throw down my cash. So I did. I bought it. And let me tell you, I was so excited waiting for it to arrive. I could already picture how it was going to look sitting on my shelf, showing off how cute and exclusive it was. I was ready to flex, like, look at my rare Labubu. The package came, and I swear I was practically skipping to the door. I ripped it open, expecting to see the plush in all its glory. But the second I pulled it out, I just froze. This thing was tiny, like way smaller than what I imagined. The fabric wasn't plush at all. It felt like cheap foam covered in rough fabric. Not soft, not cuddly, just cheap material. I couldn't even believe it. The stitching was all over the place. The eyes, crooked, the mouth, a mess. What was supposed to be a perfectly crafted toy looked like something I could have bought at a dollar store. Then it hit me. The smell. I can't even describe it. It was like a mix of old plastic and chemicals, like someone had found it at the bottom of a warehouse and just decided to slap a tag on it. Seriously, who sends out something like that and expects you to be okay with it? I checked the tag. Limited edition. Right. I could barely even make out the label because it was peeling off like it had been rubbed against a wall for months. I stared at this thing in my hands, just completely baffled. Like, this was what I paid for? I immediately went to the website to check the return policy. They said returns were allowed within 30 days, so I figured, okay, I'll just get a refund and move on. I tried to reach out to customer service, but the second I hit send on that email, nothing. No response. Not even a thanks for reaching out auto reply. So I tried calling, left a message, waited. No answer. I checked my order, still processing, even though the product was already in my hands. I went to the site again, and get this, they jacked up the price on the same plush. It was now listed for way more than I paid, and the reviews seemed too good to be true. I bet half of them were fake. I tried reaching out one last time, and guess what? Still nothing. I just sat there, staring at this garbage plush in my hands. The worst part? I couldn't even give it away because it looked like I'd gotten it out of some back alley shop. I felt totally scammed. I honestly didn't even know what to do with it. What kind of scam is this? I felt like such an idiot. All I wanted was a cute Labubu plush, and instead, I got a literal ripoff that didn't even come close to what was advertised. I swear this is one of the most ridiculous things that's happened to me, and you guys, I can't even believe I fell for it. Okay, so picture this. I'm scrolling through Instagram one night, minding my own business, when an ad pops up for this amazing skincare product. It was supposed to be the Holy Grail, you know, the kind of thing that promises to make your skin glow like a goddess. The photos looked unreal. The product packaging was beautiful, and the influencer showing it off looked flawless, obviously. So I'm like, okay, let me check out the reviews. You know, doing my due diligence, right? But these reviews were insane. The first one said, I've been using this for a week, and my skin has completely transformed. It's like magic in a bottle. Okay, I'm already sold, like, I want that glow, okay? Then I scroll a little more, and there's another review that goes, honestly, this is the best purchase I've ever made. My skin is so soft and hydrated, I've never felt better. And honestly, I'm like, okay, I have to get this. All the stars aligned. I was sold. So I click that buy now button, and I'm feeling all proud of myself for finding this amazing product. I wait a few days, and when it finally arrives, I'm so excited. I tear open the package, and I'm ready. I open the jar, and it smells strange, but I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's just natural. I apply a little bit to my face, and my skin immediately feels like sticky. I'm thinking, okay, maybe I need to give it a bit more time, so I keep going. But within the hour, my face is breaking out. I mean, red blotches everywhere. I'm freaking out, trying to wash it off, but nothing works. At this point, I'm pretty much in full panic mode, looking at my face like it's the apocalypse. So I go back to the reviews, thinking maybe I missed something. And guess what? The reviews were fake. All of them. Fake accounts, fake stories, fake everything. I literally fell for a scam. I immediately try to contact customer service, and of course no one responds. I'm sitting here with my now inflamed face and no way to get my money back, and I feel like the biggest fool ever. But let me tell you, I have learned my lesson. I will never, ever trust those glowing reviews again. I went online and found out that a lot of people had been scammed in the same way. Turns out this brand has a history of doing this, posting fake reviews, sending out crap products, and taking people's money. Okay, I can't even begin to tell you how shook I am after what happened. Like, I have never been so mad and embarrassed in my life. So, I follow this influencer on Instagram. She's always posting about these amazing products. You know the type. Always glowing, always looking flawless. She gets these exclusive discounts and deals for her followers. And of course, she makes it seem like if you don't buy it, you're missing out on something life-changing. So when she posted about this Labubu collection collab, I was like, I have to have it. Like, I just knew my collection wouldn't be complete without it. I watched the promo video, and she's hyping up this brand new Labubu plush, saying it's the softest, most exclusive thing ever. I'm already picturing it on my shelf, looking cute as hell. And get this, She even had a discount code for 20% off. So, of course, I'm like, all right, I'm sold. I mean, the price wasn't bad, and with the promo code, I was getting a deal, right? I click the link in her bio and I go straight to the site. It looks official. Labubu, influencer collab, everything checks out. I hit order, and now I'm eagerly waiting for my plush to arrive. I'm already planning my TikTok unboxing video, imagining how I'm gonna show it off, how everyone will be jealous. Days later, the package finally arrives. I rip it open and... Wait a minute. The plush isn't what was advertised at all. The size is wrong. Way smaller than what I saw in the promo. The fabric feels cheap, like it's from some bargain store. And the stitching? Don't even get me started. I mean, it's messy, looks like someone sewed it with their eyes closed. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is the smell. The thing literally smells like it's been sitting in some warehouse for years, covered in chemicals. It's so off-putting, like I can't even imagine putting this on display. So I'm standing there holding this sad excuse for a plush, completely let down. I go back to the website to check out the return policy. Nothing. I try contacting customer service, and guess what? Crickets. No response. I even DM'd the influencer asking about the promo, and nothing. Turns out I wasn't the only one scammed. I find out that tons of other people got the same exact experience. The influencer's promo was just a way to push out crappy products and take people's money, all while pretending to be helping her followers. I'm out here with a cheap knockoff, and she's out here raking in the cash. I'm seriously fuming. I've learned the hard way that you can't trust these influencer promos, no matter how much they make it look like you're getting something special. All right, brace yourselves because this one is going to have you screaming "no way" at your screen. So, a few weeks ago, I ordered this super cute home decor item, like a perfect statement piece for my apartment. It was going to be the centerpiece of my living room, and I was beyond excited for it to arrive. I checked the reviews, the pictures, everything looked legit, and I thought, okay, this is going to be the final touch I need. Fast forward to the day the package finally arrives. I'm hyped, tearing open the box, ready to see my gorgeous new piece of decor. But as soon as I open it, nope. There's a huge crack in it, right down the middle. Like, how does that even happen? I'm sitting there looking at it like, did I really just pay for this? I immediately go to the website thinking I'll just do a simple return or exchange. I mean, the damage is so obvious, right? So I submit a request for a refund, explaining the whole situation, and I even attach pictures of the crack. I'm expecting it to be an easy fix, right? I paid for something that was broken. Obviously, I should get my money back. Well, surprise, nothing happened. I wait a few days, and I still don't get any confirmation or reply, so I send another email, and then another, and another, nothing. I'm starting to get frustrated, so I decide to try calling customer service. Guess what? No one picks up, just silent on the other end. It's been a week now, and I'm starting to get really mad. I've emailed, I've called, and I'm getting absolutely zero help. I finally get a response, and they say they can't process a refund because I didn't contact them in time or some other BS excuse. Are you kidding me? They're literally telling me that because I didn't email them exactly within 24 hours of receiving a broken item, I'm out of luck. Like, what? At this point, I'm done. I'm furious. I escalate the case to my bank, and even then, it's still not easy. They won't give me the refund because the company's policy is clear. I'm stuck in this loop of back and forth emails, no real answers, and a broken item sitting in my living room. And of course, the website still has the item listed, like nothing ever happened. But now, with zero response from the customer service team, I'm sitting here just so pissed off and feeling completely ripped off. I learned a huge lesson. Don't trust the return policies, and never assume companies will actually do the right thing when something goes wrong. This whole experience left me so angry, and I'll never make the mistake of trusting a smooth website again. So, let me tell you about the absolute disaster that was my recent online shopping experience. I literally cannot believe I fell for this. I was just scrolling through Instagram like I do every day, and I saw an ad for a giveaway. The post was from this brand I kinda recognized, and they were giving away an iPhone, an iPad, and a $500 gift card. And, of course, they had a cute influencer promoting it, talking about how she just won and how amazing the giveaway was. Now, I'm not usually the type to fall for these things, but this one felt different. The ad was so convincing. The website looked clean and professional, and there were tons of winners leaving happy comments about receiving their prizes. I mean, who doesn't love free stuff, right? So I clicked the link thinking, why not? I'll enter, and if I win, cool. I followed the instructions, entered my email, tagged a couple of friends, and followed their page. It seemed so easy. I was already picturing myself with a brand new iPhone and flexing on my friends with all that cash. And then the notification came. I won! Can you believe it? I literally thought I hit the jackpot. I was ready to start planning my shopping spree and showing off my new gadgets. But here's the catch. They told me I needed to pay a small shipping fee of $30 before they could send my prizes. Now, I know this sounds fishy, but I was so excited I didn't think twice. I figured it's a small price for all that free stuff, right? I sent the payment and waited, and waited, and waited. Days went by, and I heard nothing. No confirmation email, no tracking number, just complete silence. At this point, I'm starting to feel uneasy, so I go back to the website to check on the status, and poof, it's gone. The page was deleted, the link didn't work anymore, and the brand's account was nowhere to be found. I started freaking out. I checked my bank, and yep, they had taken the $30. And now, nothing. I'm left with a broken promise and a useless transaction. The influencer? Also, nothing. No new posts, no updates, nothing to explain what happened. I seriously felt like an idiot, but I want to share this with you so you don't make the same mistake. Never trust these fake giveaways. Don't fall for the flashy ads and the too good to be true deals. If it seems fishy, it probably is. Okay, so this one really messed with me. Like, I cannot believe I fell for this, but here we are. So I follow this influencer on Instagram, right? She's one of those people that seems to have it all. Perfect skin, perfect outfits, always posting about all these life-changing products. And when I saw her post about this new skincare line, I was like, okay, I need this in my life. She kept hyping it up, saying it was the secret to glowing skin, and I was like, if it worked for her, it has to work for me. The product was expensive, but I figured it was worth it if it could give me the skin I've always wanted. Plus, she had a special discount code for her followers, and I thought I was getting a deal. So, I bought it thinking it would be my new holy grail. When it arrived, I was so excited. I literally couldn't wait to try it. The packaging was cute, so I thought, okay, it looks expensive, but I didn't think much beyond that. I followed all the instructions, washed my face, applied the product, and waited for the magic to happen. And nothing. Absolutely nothing. My skin didn't feel any different. It wasn't glowing. It didn't even feel hydrated. I honestly thought maybe I was doing something wrong, so I kept using it, hoping that maybe it would take a few days to work its magic. Days passed, and my skin actually started getting worse. It felt dry, irritated, and honestly, I was getting these tiny breakouts in places I've never had them before. I went back to the product's page, reread the reviews, and guess what? The positive reviews were all from fake accounts. All of them. I was furious. I felt totally scammed. I tried reaching out to the influencer to ask about it, but, surprise, she never responded. So I went to the brand's website to get a refund, but guess what? They had no return policy. Nothing. I ended up just throwing the product in the trash because it wasn't even worth trying to return. I'm just sitting here thinking, how did I let myself fall for this? Lesson learned. Never trust an influencer promo without doing a ton of research. The hype is real, but it doesn't always mean the product is. Okay, this is one of those moments that still makes my blood boil. I'm telling you, I never thought I'd be so mad over something as stupid as a Labubu toy, but here we are. So, I ordered this limited edition Labubu plush that I had been eyeing for months. Like I was seriously counting down the days until it arrived. If you know Labubu, you know how rare some of the items are, and I was finally getting my hands on one. I could already picture it sitting in my room, all cute and perfect. This was going to be a highlight of my collection. When I saw the delivery truck pull up, I could hardly contain my excitement. I rushed to the door, ready to rip open that package and finally see my precious Labubu in real life. But the second I opened the door, I noticed something was off. The package was dented. And I don't mean a little dent, I mean it was clearly crushed. I immediately felt that knot in my stomach. No way. I take the box, slowly open it, and I see the Labubu sitting there, but the toy is completely squished. The head is bent out of shape, and it looks like it got kicked around the entire delivery route. I'm standing there, holding it, just in utter disbelief. I look at the delivery guy who's still standing there like everything is fine. I point at the box and the mess inside it, and he's like, "Oh, that's weird. I'll let them know." Like, what? You don't even care that my $100 Labubu just got ruined because of your carelessness? I took the toy inside, still in shock. I immediately tried to contact customer service, thinking, okay, I'll just explain what happened and get a replacement. But of course, the process is an absolute nightmare. They tell me I have to send the damaged toy back first before they send a replacement, which is so frustrating because I just want my Labubu back. I try to send it back, and guess what? The shipping costs more than the toy itself. And guess what happens next? They tell me the toy is too damaged for a replacement, and they offer me a partial refund. Like, seriously? A partial refund for something that was ruined by their delivery guy? I'm sitting there still holding this bent, ruined Labubu, realizing that I just spent my money on a toy I can't even enjoy. And to make it worse, the whole customer service experience was a joke. They basically ignored me until I had to get really persistent. Moral of the story? Don't ever trust delivery companies with your precious items. And always check the package before accepting it, because once you do, they'll just leave you hanging. So, I have to tell you about this insane thing that happened to me. Honestly, it's so embarrassing but also hilarious now that I look back on it. But guys, this was not funny at the time. It all started with this amazing buy one get one free deal I saw online. I was browsing for a new pair of shoes, and these super cute sneakers popped up on my feed. I'm talking about the kind of shoes you see once and just have to have. They had a deal, buy one, get one free. I mean, it sounded too good to be true, but I was like, nah, this is perfect. I'm getting a steal. I click on the link and the website looks totally legit. It's got that smooth, professional layout, tons of categories, reviews, and even an FAQ section. Everything's great. The shoes are marked as on sale, so I throw 2 pairs in my cart, one for me and one for my friend. It says, get your free pair when you purchase one. Amazing, right? So I go ahead and buy them. A couple of days later, the package arrives. I'm feeling so smug because I'm about to have 2 new pairs of shoes for the price of one. I open it, and shock, I only got 1 pair. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? So I check the invoice. Yep, it only says 1 pair. No mention of the free one. Naturally, I'm pissed, but I think, okay, no big deal, I'll just contact customer service. I email them explaining what happened, and I even sent them screenshots of the deal and the invoice. They get back to me, finally, and they tell me that the buy one, get one free offer doesn't actually apply to that specific style of shoes. What? I'm sitting there like, excuse me? Then why was it advertised as such? I keep emailing them, but here's where it gets crazy. They tell me that the deal was a mistake and that it wasn't actually available for the pair I bought, but the website accidentally advertised it. I lost it. How is that my problem? They also said they couldn't issue a refund because the deal didn't technically apply. So, after all that, I'm left with 1 pair of shoes and no free one, and I'm out the money I spent thinking I was getting a huge deal. And guess what? The ad was still live on the website, and other people were still buying shoes under the same false premise. I'm sure I wasn't the only one who got played. Moral of the story? Don't trust a deal that sounds too good to be true. If you're getting scammed once, they'll probably do it again. Always read the fine print and make sure you're not the one left holding the bag. Literally. Okay, this has to be one of the most frustrating and infuriating things that's ever happened to me. So I bought this super cute jacket online. It was from a brand I thought was trustworthy, and the photos looked amazing, like Instagram worthy, you know? It had all the right features, and the reviews were glowing, so I bought it, thinking it would be the perfect addition to my wardrobe. When it arrived, I was super excited, but as soon as I tried it on, I could immediately tell something was off. The fit was totally wrong, and the quality of the material was nothing like what I saw in the photos. It was stiff, scratchy, and not even close to the cozy vibe I thought I was getting. I was so disappointed. I knew I had to return it. I go to their website, find the return policy, and everything looks fine. I'm within the 30-day window, so I'm thinking, okay, this should be an easy return process. I even double-check their return guidelines to make sure I have everything in order. I go ahead and contact customer service, and that's where the nightmare starts. I explain everything, how the jacket doesn't fit, and how the material isn't what I expected. I provide the order number and send them a photo of the jacket, hoping it will be smooth sailing from here. But they respond by saying the jacket is fine and that they won't accept the return unless it's in unused condition, which, okay, fine, I get that. But then they start lying, saying I wore the jacket outside. No, I never wore it outside and it still had the tags on. but they kept insisting that I'd worn it, saying things like, "The jacket shows visible signs of use." Like, where? It had been tried on for a few minutes in my bedroom. That was it. I tried to argue that they were wrong, but they just doubled down and kept saying the same thing. At this point, I'm so frustrated and feeling totally gaslit. I sent them more photos, asking them to explain how they could tell it was used, but they ignored that part and kept repeating their weird excuse. Days went by, and I'm getting more and more stressed out. So I reach out again, but this time I start asking to speak to a manager. They keep giving me generic responses, pretending to escalate the issue, but I'm getting nowhere. Eventually, they just stop replying altogether. I'm left holding this stupid jacket that I'm never going to wear, with no way to get my money back. I cannot even describe how angry I was. I felt so stupid for trusting a company that would treat its customers like this. Honestly, I'm just sitting here staring at this jacket like, I literally paid for this and I can't even return it. If you ever feel like you're being lied to by a company, trust your gut. And if their return policy feels shady, it probably is. I've learned the hard way that some sellers just don't care about customer service, and it sucks.